When I was pregnant and I found out I was having a boy, I was quite upset because I actually had the children so that we could do the pageants.
I beg your bloody pardon, madam. You had children specifically to take part in beauty pageants? What in Zeus's terrible name are you doing? What? Just how? What? I mean, for a start, you look like a fabulous candidate for the Jeremy Kyle show. Secondly, that's not what children are for. You don't breed specifically with the mind to throw your spawn into a beauty pageant. What is wrong with you? That's not what children are for at all. You're not thinking big enough. Your ambitions are minute. Your offspring are for the sole purposes of carrying on your dynasty, your family name, so that it might last 1,000 years, and forming alliances with other families by marrying them off, not for winning benign prizes of little import, not for parading them around in front of hundreds of other people. For what? Nonsense! Disgusting! And anyway, you'd think a parent so invested in these types of things would actually, bother to look after themselves. Set the example, Mummy Katie. Oh wait, that would mean not being a complete garbage human being, wouldn't it? I wouldn't even allow you to become one of my indentured servants. I'd slowly cut off pieces of your, quite frankly, trampy hair and load it into my blunderbuss Susan, and then fire it back at you.
I didn't even realize that boys could do them, but we're very pleased to find out that he can do the pageants too, so...
By Poseidon's nipples! Where is CPS? This walking and kind of talking, and I'm being generous here, example of why obtaining a license prior to breeding should be a thing, was not happy when she realized she was having a son, because she didn't know whether he could partake in the debauchery and degeneracy of a beauty pageant. But now that's fine, because he can. He can take part, be brainwashed, be dressed up, and have his childhood paraded on TV, so that when he returns to his learning establishment, I say that because, let's be honest, what kind of school can this quote-unquote mother send him to? Or when he grows up, he'll be bullied mercilessly. Right, before we really dig our teeth into this one, let's clean up the manner. Alex was kind enough to lend me his cameraman Derek, and my faithful and trusty wench Mercedes returned. I mean, yes, she came back to get her luggage, but you can't escape now. Oh, for Pete's sake, Derek! Mercedes! One of you turn the bloody lights on. I just put £10 on the electric. Oh, thank goodness, I can finally see where my Charlie went. I see HMRC didn't find it. You see, ladies and gents, a little while back, HMRC, IRS if you're from the colonies, visited my humble abode, seizing it without warning. All of my assets were taken from me. Apparently, you need to pay something called tax every year. Sounds like theft to me, to be honest. My poor indentured servants were picked up by something called immigration. Immigration? I believe the American equivalent is referred to as ICE. Not sure what that's about, but good news, everybody! Last time, I held applications for positions to revamp Lord Bear's estate. Unfortunately, none of you were shortlisted. Like, seriously, all of the ladies with potential had significant others, and all the men were demanding actual pay, actual wages. Can you believe the audacity of some of these people? Well, I digress. I was able to sell off a few remaining bits and bobs at a local bric-a-brac store, and managed to acquire Derek, Alex's cameraman, who apparently can't hear. I personally think it's selective hearing, to be honest, and Mercedes, who, as previously mentioned, I captured and am not letting go of her. We managed, well, I say we, they managed to get the lights back on. There's still crap everywhere and the mansion is looking rather bare, no pun intended. I now have 2 staff and light in 1 room. I may have to ask for a few donations to help an old poor bear out. Specifically, something the colonists refer to Gardener Americans. Not sure what that is, but I'm told they smell like tacos. Well, anyway, I'll be holding another round of applications for wenches, and this time, I don't want to hear how your husband wouldn't be happy if Lord Bear, himself second only to God, were to partake in a spot of Charlie snorting off of your plump bottoms. Okay, now that the HR stuff is out of the way, let's sit down with a nice cup of brandy and watch this absolute mess, shall we?
Okay, let's see how you look. I'm Katie, and Bob and Riley are my king and queen of pageants.
Listen here, Snaggletooth! Would it be possible for you to speak proper English? I can hear Her Royal Highness rolling her eyes now. I'm Katie, and I force my children to dress up, cake them in makeup, and march them down a runway because this is my dream.
And hat.
The young man looks rather spiffing, doesn't he? I wonder if I could hire him to open my doors for me. Oh, but those pesky child labour laws. And did you see the attitude on that little lady? This is a diva factory.
I'm Riley and I'm 5 and I'm a pageant queen and I'm gonna win this first Glitzmas Pageant.
Not with that terrible attitude towards your brother, you won't. Also, nice script reciting there, young lady. Well done. Now, here's the line to Child Protective Services and repeat after me. My mom is actually crazy and she forces my brother and I to dress up and walk down runways for nonsense. Please save us. See? Well done. Now here's a cookie. Run along, young madam.
Riley's been in anywhere between 75 to 100 pageants, but we've only done natural up to this point. This is going to be our first glitz pageant, full glitz.
Maybe you should enter your first Down syndrome pageant, eh? Good grief, man. You forced your 5-year-old daughter into how many pageants? Making her perform in front of a crowd of people, assuming you're quite harsh with her quote-unquote training. I mean, I have watched these sort of documentaries on pageant mums before. I know how demanding you can be. You'd be better off training 18, 19, 20-something shapely ladies to serve me at my estate. Look, me and Alex hold the same stance on this. Young children, like really young children, should not be taking part in what is sometimes often sexualized beauty pageants, training for hours on end to hold the ideal pose to perform in front of a group of presumably overbearing mothers. We don't mind if it's just a thing for fun, but that's an awful lot of pressure to place onto a 5-year-old. This just doesn't sit right with either of us.
Whenever a mom is trying to put something on, she mostly hurts you.
See? You're hurting your daughter, you disgusting cretin. And for what? For a poxy trophy? For bragging rights? I mean, you did state you specifically had kids for pageants. You know you're starting to make me very, very angry. I'm a lot less forgiving and considerably harsher when I'm annoyed, Katie.
When I was pregnant and I found out I was having a boy, I was quite upset because I actually had the children so that we could do the pageants.
Right! That's it! I'm already done! I'm already bloody done! Even I'm disgusted by this. You had children so you could have the pageants. They aren't your playthings. They aren't toys. You can't just return them to Amazon if you break them. Children, your offspring, are supposed to be your pride and joy. You're supposed to love them, nurture them, put them before your own needs. They are a responsibility to you. You're supposed to instill quality values in them, teach them right from wrong, how to behave, help them learn to speak, to walk and talk and use the potty. You're supposed to have fun with them, read them bedtime stories, help them make decisions as they grow older, guide them, help them find their way. They don't exist for your amusement. They don't exist for your hopes and dreams to come true. You are not only bloody ugly on the outside, but you resemble Quasimodo on the inside too. At what point did you think it was acceptable to breed? For the sole purpose of winning trophies? You bloody well wait, Katie. You think I've been harsh so far. You wait.
The Southern Celebrity New Jersey Glitzmas Pageant is 40 contestants from surrounding states, a lot of high glitz kids, great personalities, Southern Celebrity normally does pageants in the South, so we're really excited to see the difference between the South and the North.
So basically, a freaking pedo winter wonderland. Marvelous.
And to quickly break character, guys, I get that this is a cultural thing and it's probably not as sinister as I think it is, but that doesn't mean I have to like it or agree with it and not be able to criticize the parents that do this kind of thing, especially Katie here, who, for all intents and purposes, is a scumbag. Anyway, back to Lord Bear.
What? I wasn't pulling, you were pulling.
My wife is... Ha 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 ha! Do it again! Do it again! Hit her harder! Go on, Riley! Next time, though, grab her by the nipples and twist. When she's leaned forward, kick her right in the clout. See? I'm not even her parent, and I've done more parenting in this video than you have so far, Katie.
I've seen some of the other little girls, and I feel a little bit out of my league.
What do you mean, you feel out of your league? It's not you who has to cake on the makeup and get up and twirl for a bunch of strangers. No, you couldn't do that because you look like the inside of a rhino's bumhole. It's your children marching up there to prance about.
I think her routine looked okay, but I think she probably could have done a little bit better.
I think your speech is okay, but it certainly could be a lot better. I think your parenting is shocking, and you could certainly do a lot better. I think your face is abysmal, and nah, you couldn't do any better, I'm afraid. I can't polish a turd. I mean, yes, you can roll it in glitter, but I don't even think that would help improve that face. I mean, it looks like I painted it.
At this time, I need my little boy division to make their way on up to the stage, please.
All right, Michael Bloody Jackson, calm down. Whatever you do, mummies and daddies, do not let your children sit on this man's lap. He'll do the no-hands trick. Quick, distract him with the smell of chocolatey milk and the sound of children's laughter.
I would have liked a little bit more from him. He was too dependent on looking at me and the audience for direction.
He's 6 years old, you sweaty hag! Of course he was looking for direction. You shouldn't be surprised if he marched up there and started picking his bloody nose. Look, guys, I have purposely left out a lot because, to be honest with you, this video made me extremely uncomfortable. But Lord Bear exists to make fun of fat people and call out scum. And I think I did my job today. Why couldn't you enroll your children in something that would actually benefit them, like karate or Cub Scouts? At least they would learn something there, but no! You only had kids so you could live out your catwalk dreams. Madam, you are a scumbag. You should not be a parent. You don't value your children and you look like you smell like cabbage. But anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had fun. I know I certainly didn't. Please share this video around as I need that sweet, sweet ad revenue to restore myself and my manor to its former glory. Plus, I also need way more narcotics after this. Smash that like button, just like how CPS are going to smash Katie, and I'll see you peasants in the next one. Cheerio!